Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's class session. So yesterday we discussed about creating the enterprise, which is the top level in enterprise structure. So divisions is the optional concept. So today we'll discuss about next level of enterprise structure. What is that? Primary ledger. So in e-business suite, we use it to pronounce general ledger. In cloud application, we are going to pronounce as primary ledger. The reason is by default, we have two ledger concepts in cloud application. So do you have secondary ledger concept in e-business suite?
Yes.
Yes, but that is not by default secondary ledger. So with the help of management segment, we are going to achieve that. Correct? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, yeah.
But here by default, we have two ledger concepts is there. At least we need to implement one ledger. So log into the application with our user, implementation user. And one more thing, I'm going to open our Excel document. Let me open Excel. This is fine. So I'm going to add one more tab. So primary ledger. Okay. So first thing, so if you want to implement general ledger, what are the required setups in e-business suite? So we have a concept of 4 C's from e-business suite R12 till e-business suite 11i we say 3 C's, and from release e-business suite R12 onwards we say 4 C's. So with the help of 4 C's only we are going to implement general ledger setups. Correct?
Yes.
So same in cloud application, it requires 4 C's to implement general ledger. 4 C's required to implement primary ledger. So in e-business suite we used to pronounce as general ledger. We are already clear. So why we are pronouncing as primary ledger. So what are they? What are those 4 C's?
Currency, calendar.
Currency.
Yeah,
Calendar.
first thing is chart of accounts. Second thing, calendar. Okay, just give me how many type of calendars we have in the application. In the application.
3 types.
Manufacturing.
3.
Don't you mind, guys? Can you a bit louder? Anyone who is speaking, a bit louder, please.
Manufacturing calendar.
Manufacturing calendar, inventory calendar, cycle counting calendar. Likewise, we have a lot of calendars. Then what is this calendar? You have to be very specific with the pronunciation. That's why I'm asking this. I'm raising this question. This is accounting calendar. Correct?
Yeah.
Accounting calendar. We have to be specific with the naming conventions because so we have a lot of calendars. Accounting calendar is there, inventory calendar is there. So cycle count also we can maintain a separate calendar, plant manufacturing calendar. Because you have different calendars is there. So this one accounting calendar, and so currency. Currency is required. And what is the one more C?
Accounting convention.
Accounting method. So accounting method. So these are the 4 C's. Accounting method nothing but SLA, subledger accounting method. These are the 4 C's required to implement primary ledger. So with the help of chart of accounts only, we are going to create any transactions in the in the form of accounts, and we are going to post those transactions to the general ledger in the form of journals. So that is the reason any transaction you perform, we are going to capture in the form of accounts. So how we are going to get those accounts? With the help of chart of account setup. Accounting calendar nothing but it's kind of your financial year calendar. What is the start date and the end date? Currency, what is your functional currency? And accounting method. So what is your subledger accounting method? How we are going to post all those transactions for each and every SLA module. So these are the forces required. Let's go one by one in depth. First thing, chart of accounts. Chart of accounts. chart of accounts. Okay. So tell me, so chart of accounts, but as I said, anything, any transactions you are going to perform in the application, you are going to capture in the form of accounts. How we are going to get those accounts? So with the help of chart of accounts. So okay, in purchasing, what are the accounts will come into the picture? Just anything. Just give me a couple of accounts. It's not like the specific account only you need to give or specific flow you only you need to give. It's not like that. Anything. Just give me a couple of accounts in purchasing.
Costing account.
Okay, costing account.
Charge account.
I didn't think costing account will comes under purchasing. So
Material.
that will when it will comes is if you are maintaining a receipt accounting, when you are performing receiving distributions like receipt accounting, then only costing related things comes. Okay, and others.
Distribution account.
Yeah, I mean just a naming convention. Let's
Material
take an example. When you receive the material, a inventory material account will hit, correct?
Yes.
So when you place a purchase requisition, charge account will hit. When you create a purchase order, we need to maintain accrual accounts and variance accounts. So these are all accounts only, right? A charge account is there, accrual account is there. So in e-business suite, even budget account is there, variance account is there. So but here budget account we won't treat under purchasing module, which we are going to treat separately. So as well as we have inventory material account is there, inventory AP accrual account is there, liability accounts will come into the picture, cash account will come into the picture. Likewise. So if you go to order management, at the time of shipping, the shipping related accounts, so defer COGS accounts, all these accounts will come into the picture. Why these accounts will come into the picture? To capture those transactions in the form of entries. That entries are in the form of accounting entries. Correct? So we all know, right? So
Yes.
I hope everyone worked on e-business suite.
Yes,
Is
yes.
there anyone who didn't work on Oracle e-business suite application? Okay, so we all know. So that means we all know.
Yeah, Sarath, I didn't have that much of experience for e-business suite. I was the end user.
Sorry, you?
Yeah, this is Akash.
Okay, hi.
So I haven't, I didn't set up this account.
Yeah, setup is
in
not
it.
required, but I mean, you created some transactions, all these things, fine, right?
Yeah, I have created the transactions.
And you choose the accounts.
Miss, I made a transaction, but I didn't select any accounts or anything.
Okay.
It was by default.
Okay. Oh, by default. So, but anyhow, you know, I mean, why is it, whether the account will come into the picture or not?
Yeah, I heard about it, but I didn't.
Okay, it's okay. So first thing, any transactions we are going to capture in the form of accounts. So those accounting entries we are going to store in the general ledger for entire our future references. For future references. That is the reason why we are going to maintain chart of accounts. Let's take an example. You are performing, so receiving from outside supplier. Once you receive the material, you will come to know that some 1,000 quantity you received. Then what we will do is, so we have a concept of inventory material account. In that inventory material account, we are going to hit those accounting entries for the future reference purpose, as well as based on that only we are going to take the balance sheets as well as financial year closing statements and everything. That means simple terminology. So we are going to capture all the transactions in the form of accounts, and those accounts we are going to transfer to the general ledger in the form of journals. So this is the financial concept. But why we are implementing ledger and legal entity is, so as part of our enterprise structure, rather than going with Oracle seeded setups, we are going to configure our basic setups. So, okay, you said, I mean, you didn't work, that's fine. So usually how many segment structure you observed in your business, any client? So did you see anything like company, account, department, cost center like that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So all these are segments. So that means we are going to capture accounting entries in the form of segments. Let's take an example. So I'm going to maintain a chart of account structure. Then we are going to have segments and value sets. Segments and value sets. Okay, so then usually any company, any organization, if you want to implement chart of account structure, a minimum of 2 segments we need to maintain. What are they? One is company, another one is account. Another one is account. So these are the 2 segments mandatory. But ideally, any organization will maintain minimum 6 to 8 segment structure. Minimum 6 to 8 segment structure, where you can observe, if you go and if you log into the application from Oracle business suite also, you can see for your client structure like company, account, department, cost center, intercompany, and for future reference purpose, they will mention couple of segments like a future segment 1, future segment 2, like that, and some reporting segments also someone will maintain. Anyone observed this one? I'm not getting any answer.
Yes,
Yeah,
Sharath.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You observed.
So that means, so any organization usually they will maintain some 6 to 8 segment structure, even if that's not required. So couple of segments they will maintain as a future segments for future reference purpose. But if you want to implement chart of accounts, a minimum 2 segments required. One is company. So why we are going to maintain company segment? At company level only. At company level only, we are going to take the balance sheet as well as financial year closing statements. And account nothing but where we are going to maintain what type of accounting entry we are going to hit, what type of accounting entry we are going to hit, like whether the account is a revenue account or liability account or expense accounts. All these things will hit under account only. And ideally, so if our training is financials, then within general ledger setups only we are going to sit a minimum 10 days. First thing, so within general ledger setups only we are going to sit minimum 10 days. But our training is supply chain management and manufacturing. That's why we'll go with very basic setups in ledger and legal entity. Okay, so first thing company, and another one is account, as well as I'm going to maintain 2 more segments, department and location also. I decided to maintain 4 segments. So the naming convention SEP underscore September underscore company, September underscore account. So next SEP underscore department and SEP underscore location. So I said that we are going to maintain 4 segment structure to capture all the transactions in the form of accounting entries. So if you want to capture the accounting entries, so with the help of these segments, from where these values will come for these segments, let's take company is there. Okay, let's take account. So we have 1000 is a material account, 2000 is a miscellaneous account, 3000 is sales account, liability account, like that we are going to have values, correct?
Mhm.
Are we
We
going
need
to have
to
values or not?
Yes. We need to create value sets.
So we need to create value
this
sets
is-
and we need to assign value set. That means what is value set meaning? A value set nothing but set of values. Having set of values nothing but value sets. So first thing, chart of accounts where you are going to configure. What is this concept? Where you are going to configure? What is this setup? In EBS. Is this a key flexi field concept or not?
Yes, Sharath. It's a
So
clear.
the chart of account key flexi field name is accounting flexi field in e-business suite. Same in cloud application also. So in key flexi field, any key flexi field, we are going to define, configure a structure. In the structure, we are going to configure segments, nothing but these segments. And for each and every segment, we are going to assign a value set. So with the help of value set only, we are going to get the values for the segments, values for the segments. So for company, I'm going to create one value set and I'm going to assign one value set. That is SEP underscore company value set. Likewise, For account, I'm going to maintain one account value set. So for department, I'm going to maintain one department value set, as well as for location segment, I'm going to maintain one location value set. So to populate the values, that means with how many segment structure we are maintaining at this moment?
4.
4. In e-business suite, what is the maximum number of segments you can maintain in chart of account structure?
15 segments.
No, in e-business suite we can maintain 29 segment structure. Maximum we can maintain 29 segment structure. In cloud application we can maintain nearly 72. So all these points, guys, whenever I say, just please make a note. It's simple, hardly it will take us some couple of seconds to note. Please make a note. In EBS near we can maintain 29 segment structure. In cloud application we can maintain so close to 72 or 73 segment structure. So now we decided to go with a 4 segment structure. Out of 4 segments, any organization, so for any client, minimum 2 segments are mandatory. One is company and another one is account. So and department and location, like that, if you want, you can maintain optionally. Why company and account is mandatory? Once we start defining setup, you will come to know. So that means we decided to go with 4 segment structure. Company, account, department, and location. So let's start configuration. So log into the application with implementation user. Navigate to setup and maintenance. Navigate to setup and maintenance. Navigate to procurement offering, as we said. So initially all the setups we are going to configure from procurement offering only. So from enterprise profile, we configured enterprise related setup. From financial reporting structure functional area, we are going to configure ledger related setups. So in EBS, can I create key flexi field chart of account structure without value set? Without defining value set upfront, can I create chart of account structure?
No, we can't.
Actually, it's yes. So first
Yes,
we
we
can
can
create
make.
chart of account structure. Later we can assign value sets in e-business suite. So, but in cloud application, first we need to configure value set. So that is the reason. The first setup is manage chart of accounts value set. Because still in interviews, people are asking few questions related to e-business suite versus cloud. Maybe after a couple of years, so no one will ask you questions on EBS. So purely they will ask on cloud application only. So let's take an example. After some 1.5 years or 2 years, so definitely they will ask only on cloud. But at this moment, people are comparing and people are asking differences also. That's why I'm trying to tell possible differences. Okay. So this is the manage chart of account value set. This is manage chart of account value sets. So here, if you already defined, we can search from this search criteria. So far, we didn't define any. So that's why we have to create from the beginning. So select, click on create, click on plus icon to create chart of account value set. How many value sets we need to configure?
4.
4. So the reason is we are decided to go with 4 segment structure. So first is value set code, SEP underscore company value set. So description is optional. If you want, you can write it. So module. So this value set belongs to which module? Just give me a guess.
It's HCM.
No, actually. Okay, I will tell you. So where we are going to use this value set? First thing.
In the segments.
For which segment?
Company segment.
Okay, this segment belongs to which setup?
Chart of accounts.
Chart of accounts belongs to which module?
General ledger.
General ledger. That means in which module we need to configure this value set?
General ledger.
Okay, simple. Okay, if you remember like this, it's going to be easy. So that means chart of account related value sets we need to configure in general ledger module. Select general ledger.
Sarath,
Validation type. Sorry.
Sarath, in the cloud, the module is referred to option, right? But still it is showing, it is referring as module here.
I mean, few areas it will refer as the terminology module, few areas it won't refer, that's all. But yeah, few areas it will refer as a module only.
Okay.
Okay. But you can use, I mean,
Mm.
in terms of defining setups, we have to refer module. In terms of using the application, we have to refer as options.
Okay.
There is a simple difference is there. Okay, then validation type. Validation type nothing but how we are going to maintain data in this value set. So we have 5 different validation types. Same in ABS. One is independent validation type, dependent validation type, table, subset, and format. So independent nothing but the value which is exist in this company value set won't depend on any other value, so a dependent validation type nothing but, so the value which we are going to define in this company value set is going to depend on another value set value. So a table, we are going to create a table. From the table we are going to capture the data, and subset and format only. So initially we'll go with independent validation type. So going forward for account aliases, so okay, for stock locator will test dependent, for account aliases will test for format and other things. So validation type independent nothing but whatever we are going to create, only I will discuss that one only. So independent validation type nothing but the value which is going to exist in this company value set won't depend on any other value. Then value data type. So we said these values are independent. That is fine. Value data type. What type of data you are going to maintain in this value set? Characters. Character nothing but again it's up to your decision whether you can maintain numeric characters or alphabets or else alphanumeric also. So we can maintain when you choose value data type, what type of data you are going to store? Character. So if you choose number, that means you are going to maintain only number format. So if you're going to select date and date type, so you're going to maintain date format values. So I'm going to maintain character. That means so I can maintain either alpha characters or alphabetics or numerics or combination of both alpha numeric also. I can maintain that alphanumeric data or alphabets or numbers, any data I can maintain in this value set. Security enabled. So we already discussed that we have a concept of security console. With the help of security console, we can restrict users to access specific setups, but not for all setups. But chart of accounts is one of the mandatory setups. Ideally, so we won't give access for others to modify values in the value set related to the chart of accounts or anything, because if they modify anything, that will affect entire application transactions. That is the reason if you want to maintain, you can maintain security. So once you enable security enabled, what is the data security you have to choose? This security we need to configure with the help of security console. Middleware tool. Security console also part of our training only, and we are going to discuss security console in future. So I'm not going to maintain security. That means anyone can access this value set. Just they need application implementation consultant role. So the person who is going to have the role can access this value set. Value subtype again. So value data type, you choose character. If you choose value data type character, then the data type definition. This is a data type definition. What type of value you are going to maintain? Text, translated text, numeric digits. Again, we can maintain here. Text nothing but again you can maintain any data. So like alpha characters, alphabets, or numbers, or alphanumeric. So maximum length. What is the maximum length of the character you are going to maintain? What is the maximum length? For example, if you want to maintain numbers, so 100 nothing but it's a 3 characters. So what is the maximum length we can maintain? If you say 3 characters, so how many values we can create in this value set? If we say maximum length is 3, how many values we can create in this value set in terms of numbers? 999. Again, so after 999, am I have to stop or can I create any other value?
No, it won't
Of course,
allow.
you can configure 10A, 10B, 10C like that also, right? For example,
Yeah.
ideally no one will do, but we can create like that also, right? Because here we choose text. So, but if you want to restrict, choose numeric digits only. That means only numbers we have to configure. Okay. If you want to allow to configure only numbers, then choose numeric digits only. So select text.
Sarath, we already said the value data type is character.
So
And what
again, character nothing but so either alphabets or numbers or alphanumeric, anything we can maintain. So that is the reason. Again, system will ask you to choose subtype. Again, subtype text, translated text, numeric digits. Again, we can choose in the subtype also.
these are like more restrictions on what can go in. Okay.
Yes. So again, I mean, this is a better way to do setup. That's all.
Okay.
Sharad, what is that? The subtype translated text. Or something?
Sorry.
There is another subtype, right? Can you just see in the drop down? Translated text.
Okay.
Second one, translated text.
Okay.
What is that one?
Okay, translated text nothing but for example, you maintain separate language, some different language, then automatically that language will convert into English characters. If you are maintaining alphabets, so if you are writing in separate language, then that language will automatically, I mean, will convert into, I mean, the source language will convert into English. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
Because some people will maintain this Arabic and other things also, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah, the translated text will convert the source language to English. Okay. Just said, I mean, general meaning only. So,
No, I got it. What you're telling, translated text. But I'm just thinking, like, if at all we are implementing it in China, suppose if they are writing in a Chinese language, so like how differentiated, like, can we see it only in English and those guys will be seeing in the Chinese, or how is that?
actually, I didn't get. So, if you implemented translated test, how exactly it is working? So, that's what your question, right?
Right.
So, if you implemented this one, then, well, just let me. I mean, as per my knowledge, if you are maintaining translated text, so again with the help of page composer, we need to maintain. So I mean, how the text has to translate and everything. All those setups we need to maintain. So in, I mean, with the help of this page composer. Again, that will go with integrations. Let's take. I will show you because I read this document earlier. So Oracle
Okay.
Cloud. So translated text. Because I will show you that one. So in because in general ledger we have translations as well as all these concepts is there, right? So then translating custom text, someone written some blog. I mean concept is same, it's never changed. So
Okay.
translating custom text. So customizations made in page composer to take in consideration sessions local. So because for example, if you are maintaining any, I mean, so text, for example, if you are maintaining any other tools, so to for these, I mean, Arabic languages or any other languages. So with the help of page composer, I mean, composer nothing but it's a page composer, which is one of the middleware tool. So here you can see application composer or page composer. So where is this one? This is alert composer configuration. So page integration, okay, application composer. With the help of application composer, so we are going to write those conditions in the web services to translate the text into English. So I mean, how in which language you want to translate. So usually in application standpoint of view, we are going to maintain American English only. But for the other party tools, so we are going to translate the text to the specific language. That is the reason with the help of this composer, we are going to translate the text. But if you mention in our setup, that means these values we are going to translate to other language also with the help of composer. That's what this meaning.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you.
Select text. Okay, then what is the maximum length? For example, I'm maintaining some maximum with these 3 characters. So if you want to restrict from specific minimum and maximum value, you can restrict. That means, for example, let's take minimum value 100 and maximum value, sorry, minimum value is 0, 0, 0 and maximum value is 100. That means we cannot create more than 100 values. So you cannot configure 101, 102 like that. So if you don't enable this one, then automatically system by default system will allow us to configure till 999. So and even alphabets and everything we can maintain. Uppercase only. If you are maintaining alphabets, are we going to maintain only uppercase letters or lowercase also fine. If you want to maintain only uppercase, then you need to enable uppercase only. Zero fill. Zero fill nothing but. So let's choose an example. So maximum length is 3 characters and I defined 1, 2 like this the values. Then automatically if you maintaining zero fill, system will fill with 0 upfront. So 001, 002 like that system will fill. So the characters. So if you want to maintain zero fill, you can maintain, or else manually also you can define like 001, 002 also. Anything is fine. So first save it. Before save, ensure that so you, whatever you created correct, or else once we save it, we cannot modify value set code. Select save first. So value set code in grayed out mode. So any questions on defining value set? Because we need to configure 3 more. So those 3 more we are going to configure quickly.
I said if the value set validation type is table, then we need to give the some other table name, something like that.
No, validation type table nothing but so so in cloud application table won't support you first thing.
Okay.
So in on-premise version only it will support you.
Okay.
So as we have still on-premise versions in release 12 and 13 also, Oracle given the table. But in e-business suite or on-premise version, what we will do is create a custom table and we will define. So if you choose table, then system will ask you to choose the query. So with the help of the query, we are going to retrieve the data from the table. So in e-business suite terminology, with the help of PLSQL queries. Okay. But cloud application won't support you validation type table.
Okay, sir.
You may get it out. Why still we have table? Because still on-premise version is also there, and still on-premise version is providing to few clients. Who are in release 8 and release 9 on-premise databases.
Okay.
For new clients, I don't think. I didn't see someone got a on-premise database for new clients. Any questions? Because the remaining I am going to create quickly.
Okay. Then okay, how they will integrate already from R12 to cloud if they are having the custom value sets which is having table types?
E-business to R12. So that is the reason, right? We have to go with us. In the standard only, you will get all the features. Why we need to go with the custom? Okay, tell me one reason why we need to go with the custom scenario.
If a business is having some custom value sets, when the custom value sets,
that is the reason. If they have customs also. So okay, I will tell you one more honest thing. So in e-business suite, most of the IT companies, when they are implementing the application, unnecessarily they suggested a lot of customizations to the client. First thing, correct or wrong?
As per business perspective, they have.
As per business purpose, even few things we can meet through standard or through business process change. We have BP, AT, BP, what the concepts is there, right? So rather than suggesting business process changes, so they will go with customizations for billing purpose. Any other reasons? The reasons are different. But to avoid all those unnecessary customizations and everything, first thing, Oracle will bring the best solutions. And any business, if you want to maintain IT, with the help of IT, the business should be accurate and more perfect, right? That is the reason. So we need to suggest the process change, and most of the client requirements will meet in financials. There is no doubt, first thing. And in supply chain management also, most of the client requirements will meet. And for inventory purpose, if you need complete warehouse solutions, so a 3PL by default system will support you. third-party logistic integration. Now by default, Oracle is supporting for cloud database. So directly we can integrate with 3PL systems also. Even we can go with Oracle Warehouse Management Cloud also. For that, we are going to maintain PaaS, platform as a service. Then why we need to maintain customizations in this database? So the agenda of itself SaaS database is it should be standard application. It shouldn't have any customizations. So going forward, if there is any new patches or bug fixes is there, so Oracle will apply back from the backend automatically for all the clients. So which will save a lot of money and time for the client. So tell me how client will save the money if patches will apply by Oracle itself. I mean, how it clients will save? Usually, what IT team
DBA
will
cost
do,
and
if you want to apply one patch,
DBA time and
sorry,
DBA cost and DBA time will be saved, right?
not only
DBA
DB
resources.
time. So if you want to apply some patch, some localization patches, or any patch, a big patch is there, for example. So let's take this RC, RPC 10, RPC 13, some EBS patches is there, right? So clients, I mean, IT companies will demand more number of resources and they will take a lot of billing and they will go with all the patch analysis. They will consume a lot of time. That means it is a lot of cost for the client as well as it will consume a lot of time, and still most of the IT companies they will do high level of regression testings and system integration testings for the patch. No one will do in depth. Then what will happen after applying patches? We used to receive a lot of support tickets, and again we will raise our clusters, and IT companies will complain like so the patch has some issues. There's a common scenario which is happening in, I mean, environment. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
So that is the reason.
Yes, sir.
So Oracle want to avoid all those unnecessary stuff, and Oracle want to apply all. Oracle is applying all the patches by testing from their end in detail. So if Oracle is allowing a customizations within this SaaS application, then the patches may affect the customizations, which affect the functionality. That is the reason Oracle is not allowing to maintain any customizations. So, but still few customizations will be allowed. So how? So with the help of seeded conditions provided by Oracle. So in DOO, we need customizations based on client requirement. We can achieve that, but the patches which going to apply by Oracle, so those patches won't affect the DOO setups. Like that, Oracle designed this cloud database and they put the conditions. So end of the day, one thing client will get benefited, another thing Oracle will get benefited because they are charging so client on a regular basis based on the data usage and everything. So who is going to lose?
IT support.
IT companies will lose. Correct?
Yes.
So IT companies will lose. But if you are upfront and if you are if you can implement minimum 3 end-to-end projects in next couple of years, we are going to be the best resources. Okay. So but try to learn all the things, guys. Try to learn all the possible scenarios. And next, so we created a value set. Click on manage values. I'm not going to define values upfront. Then why I click on this one? I just verify value, description, enable, started and ended, and started. So far we have 6 columns only. Only chart of account value set. Don't define values upfront. Why? What is the reason? You will come later. You will come to know later. At this moment, we have only 6 columns in the value set to define value, to define values. Okay, select save and close. Don't define values for the value sets related to chart of accounts upfront. Okay, select save and close. Likewise, I am going to create remaining 3 value sets quickly. We already discussed one in detail. So let me configure quickly. SCP underscore. Module, general ledger, validation type independent, value data type character, value subtype text. So maximum length sum 5. So I'm not going to maintain any minimum or maximum values. Save it. So don't directly click on save and close. Save and close. I mean, you can do it, but just I will suggest you just first click on save button. SCP underscore department value set. Module belongs to general ledger, validation type independent, value data type character, so value subtype text, so maximum length some 3. Save it, select save and close. So let's define one more value set, September underscore department value set. Sorry, department we just defined. See, it's already exists. So we have to define a location, right? Location value set. So the best thing with the cloud application is if you made any mistakes, the error will populate with immediate effect rather than after saving. You don't need to go and correct it. So it will populate with immediate effect. Select save, select save and close. So now we configure total 4 value sets. Again, if you want to search, again go to manage start of account value sets. In the search criteria, search with SCP underscore percentage. Click on search button. So these are the 4 value sets which we configured for general ledger module. That means because we are going to use these value sets in chart of account structure. Chart of account structure. So we configured 4 value sets. Then what we have to do? We have to create a chart of account structure. So select manage chart of account structure. Select manage chart of account structure. So in e-business suite also chart of account structure is a key flexi field concept. The key flexi field name is accounting flexi field. The key flexi field name is accounting flexi field. Same in cloud application also it is accounting flexi field. So first we need to search the flexi field. As the navigation itself manage chart of account structure. If you directly click on search also, system will populate the accounting flexi field. Earlier till release 12 we need to place we need to start search ECC percentage like that, but from release 13 onwards directly if you click on search also automatically system will search and it will populate the accounting key flexi field. So this accounting flexi field belongs to general ledger module and general ledger application. So here we have a concept of structure and structure instances. There is a difference between structure instance, which is a new concept in cloud. First we will configure chart of account structure. So click on manage structure, click on manage structure. So if you already defined chart of account structure, you can search, or else you have to create. So click on create. So structure code, SCP underscore chart of accounts. So name. So if you want, you can maintain description. Delimiter. What is a delimiter? What is a delimiter? Delimiter nothing but separator.
Yes.
Correct. So for example, when we choose, we say 4 segment structure. So when we choose the values, so company 100, so and account is some 1000, 10,000, department 000, and location 000. So when you are choosing values like that, is there any separator going to come into the place or not?
Okay.
Some dot or some symbol we are going to maintain, like 100 dot, so 10,000 dot, so 000 dot 000. Likewise, we are going to populate the accounting entries. Correct?
Yes.
Delimiter nothing but a simple terminology, it's a separator. So what is the separator you are going to use? So any symbol you can use. I'm going to use dot because most of the scenarios we are going to use dot only. By default, this chart of account structure is enabled. If you don't want to use this structure in future, you have to make it disable. Then segments. So we need to configure segments. So but at this moment, so create button is grayed out mode. So once you save it in the header level details, whatever you choose, once you save it, then only system will allow us to create the segments. So click on save. Click on save. So now system will allow you to create segments. How many segment structure we decided to implement?
4 segments.
Segment structure. How many?
4 segments.
4 segments.
4 segments. Yeah.
So let's create a segment. First, select create. So segment code. What is the code of segment? SCP underscore company. So API name will automatically populate from the segment code. API name will populate. Then you may get it out. Why we need API? Application, so interface, why we need APIs? So if you are maintaining any third-party tools and if you want to capture this data, so if you want to, transfer the data from here to third-party tool or from third-party tool to here, so then, so are we going to give access to the database? No, we are not going to give the access to database. So with the help of web services by using APIs, so we are going to call the data. So this is the default API populated for this chart of accounts segment, company segment. Again, if you want, you can change this API name. So that means API name, one is if you want to go with third-party tool integration, we are going to use API name to call the data, as well as for reporting purpose. If you want to customize any report in the OTBA, Oracle Transactional Business Intelligence, with the help of API only, so we are going to call the top level of the data for reporting purpose also. So by default, system will generate the API name. If you want, you can change the API name also. Okay, then name. What is the name of your segment? So SCP underscore company. If you want, you can give the description. Sequence. So here, company is first sequence, account second sequence, department is in third, and location is fourth. How you want to maintain this sequence? You have to give the sequence number. I want to see company in the top of the list. So sequence 1. Again, prompt and short prompt also we are going to maintain for integration purpose to use in web services. So even I am not going to integrate. So by default we need to maintain, because in future, if you want to integrate with the help of this prompt and short prompt only, we are going to call the data. That is the reason. So even if you are not going to maintain anything, so for future reference purpose, we need to define. That is the reason system make it as a mandatory value. Then enable. By default, this segment is enabled. And in future, if you don't want to use this segment, then you need to make it disable. You need to make it disable. Then display width. What is the so for example, so this column, so this is a column, so this is the box, we need to choose the value. What is the width of this display? That is nothing but display width. That is display width. So let's choose some 20 characters is the display width 20. So and range type. So if you want to maintain a, so in the value set, we want to choose some ranges like from high to low to high values. Then we will go with the range types, but it's not mandatory. And I will suggest you not go with the range type, because still we have some issues with this range type. If you maintain range type, so still we have some issues with this setup. That is the reason I won't suggest, don't go with a range type. Then column. So in which column in the database system has to store the values related to the company. So in which column in the table? So default table, some GL chart of account table is there. In the table, in which column system has to store the company related data. So where company related data is there in the value set. This value set data related to the company, where it has to store, in which column. So click on search. So we have by default some 72 columns is there for 7. So that means maximum we can maintain 72 segments. For those 72 segments, we have 72 columns is there, and I'm going to maintain. So in the segment 1, the column name is segment 1. In the first column, the column name is segment 1, where we are going to store the company related segment data, and from which value set we are going to pull that data. So earlier value set is not required, because later also we can define, but so now by default it is required. That's why before defining chart of account structure, I have configured value sets. So for SCP underscore company segment, I'm going to populate the values from SCP underscore company value set. So select search, value set code SCP percentile company value set, select OK. So any questions so far till here only? Any questions till here?
What is the segment labels?
No, that's why any questions till here. That's what I'm asking.
Okay. Fine.
Okay. Segment label nothing but a flexi field qualifier. First thing, segment label nothing but what it is. What is a segment label?
Flexi field qualifier.
Flexi field qualifier. Then why we need to maintain segment label? So for example, you are performing your business transactions and everything. So in the form of journals, you are going to store all the data. So are you going to verify whether journals credit and debits are equal or not? Do we need to verify or not?
Need to verify.
So let's take an example. I have transferred 1,000 rupees from my some ICICI account to some HDFC account. So when I transfer from ICICI, 1,000 rupees should debit, and in banking terminology. So and in HDFC, 1,000 rupees should credit. Correct?
Yes.
So banking terminology is completely, totally opposite to application terminology. In application terminology, so for example, from one inventory to another inventory, I transferred some 1,000 quantity. Then, so from where we transferred the shipping inventory, 1,000 should credit, and in the receiving inventory, 1,000 should debit. Correct? For example,
Yes.
cut me if I'm wrong. It should be equal or not, both credit and debit.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Then how we are going to verify whether credits and debits are equal or not? How we are going to validate that?
By taking balance sheets.
By taking balance sheet. Then usually at what level we will take balance sheet?
Company level.
At company level. So if you want to take the balance sheet at company level nothing but company segment, then we need to assign a segment label, nothing but flexi field qualifier. What is that one? A balancing segment flexi field qualifier. In EBS, we have only one balancing segment flexi field qualifier, but in cloud application, by default, we have 3 balancing segments. So first balancing segment we are going to use for balance sheet. Second balance segment, if you want to take the balance sheet with the help of 2 segments, like company plus cost center or company plus department, like that, if you want to take the balance sheet, we are going to use secondary balance segment. And third balance segment we will use for translation purposes. So in-depth concept is different. As I said, if this is financial concept, so basic ledger setup itself we are going to sit 10 days, but our training is supply chain management. So to take the balance sheet at company level, we need to assign primary balancing segment label. So these are the available labels. Segment label nothing but flexi field qualifier terminology. Segment label is equal to flexi field qualifier in EBS. So let me write EBS flex field qualifier in EBS is equal to segment label in the pronunciation of is a segment label. So if you want to take the balance sheet at company level, then this company segment should have a segment label, a balancing segment. So what it will happen, identifies the primary balancing segment. This is typically the company segment. See, clearly they mentioned this is typically the company segment. We have to maintain balancing segment at company only. You say like, okay, I want to maintain at account level and other area. No, it's not allowed. Ideally, we should maintain it company level. Not ideally. There's a default. So business process. It's a default business process. So select primary balance segment, move to selected levels. So company means it's not terminology. Just it's a top level of the company. It's not terminology. So company segment nothing but where we are manufacturing plant, like that, whatever the company segments is there. So there we have to maintain. That's it. But we have to maintain at least one balancing segment to take the balance sheet. That is the reason one segment, company segment, is mandatory. So for company segment, we need to associate primary balancing segment label. With the help of primary balancing segment label only, we are going to take the balance sheet at company level. Let's take, I have 2 companies. One is a manufacturing company, another one is distribution company. For MFG company, I will take a separate balance sheet at MFG company value level, as well as distribution level. I am going to take separate balance sheet. That means at company level, we are going to take the balance sheet. So in the balance sheet only, we are going to ensure that credits and debits equal or not. Again, if there is a mismatch, suspense accounts and other things will come into the picture. So just to verify whether credits and debits equal or not, we are going to verify validated company level with the help of balancing segment label. So first save it. Any questions on the way we create segment? Remaining I will create quickly.
No.
Any questions, anyone?
Then talk about
Sorry, Sipia.
the second and third balancing segment, like
Don't you mind, your voice is a bit low for me.
okay, the second and third balancing segment.
Yeah, in EBS we don't have that option. So, but if you want to take the usually we will take the balance sheet at company level. For example, at company, in my company I have 10 departments. I want to take the balance sheet for each and every department, like company plus sales department, company plus purchasing department, like that. If you want to take the balance sheet, then when we are defining segments, so for the department segment, we can assign secondary balance segment. So with the help of a two account combination, so two segment combination, we can take the balance sheet. We can verify credits and debits. That means company plus specific department, like that.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
and the third
Yes.
balancing segment we will use for reporting purposes and we will use for translation purposes.
Okay.
But minimum one balancing segment we need to maintain. That should be primary balancing segment only. And we need to maintain that at company level only. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Okay.
Then select, save and close. So likewise, we decided to go with the 4 segment structure. Select to create other segment. So name SEP underscore account. SEP underscore account. So sequence into front and short front. So column name, segment 2, default value set code. Select search. So SEP percentile account value set. Select OK. So then for account, we have to assign natural account segment. So why we need to maintain natural account segment? The reason is, so when you are defining the account values, what type of account it is, whether it is expense account or revenue account or liability account or a budgetary account, budgetary credit or budgetary debit or owner's equity account, how system will know? So with the help of natural account segment only, if you assign this natural account segment to your chart of account segment, then system will enable those account types and financial categories, everything. So based on that one, we will hit accounting entries. That's why at account level, we need to maintain natural account segment. So that is the reason minimum 2 segments are required in a chart of account structure, company and account. For company, we have to maintain primary balance segment. For account, we have to maintain so natural account segment. And department and location is optional. This is not mandatory, where I am going to maintain dummy values. So select save. So if you want to maintain cost center, intercompany, everything we can maintain. But our training is not financials. So select add one more row. SEP underscore department. Sequence 3. So I will close this session in next 5 minutes. So just give me I need 5 more minutes. So column name, I'm going to store in third column. Go to default value set code, SEP underscore department, value set, select OK. So if you want, you can maintain a department level cost center or anything, or as any segment you can maintain. So, but I'm not going to maintain in any other segments. Select save, select save and close. So let's create one more segment. SCP underscore location. Sequence number 4. Select column segment 4. Select default value set code. Select search. SCP percentile. Location value set. Select OK. Select save. Select save and close. So now we defined a chart of account structure with 4 segments. Select, save it, select, save and close. So if you want to search again in the search criteria, you can search. So you can search your chart of accounts again. You can click on edit, and you can, if you want, you can change anything. So I'm going to save and close it. Select, done. So I configured a chart of account structure, but here we have a additional concept structure instance, which is a mandatory setup. So tomorrow we'll discuss chart of account structure and accounting calendar, and tomorrow we'll complete basic primary ledger setups. Okay. So if you can complete tomorrow ledger setups, then by Monday we'll complete legal entity setup. From Tuesday onwards, our real supply chain management training will start.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Select, done.
Uh-huh.
Any questions so far?
Yes, Sarath.
Yes, really.
Yes. Actually, in demo environment, everybody they have configured the implementation project, right?
Yes.
Okay. So as of now, you did something changes, impact everything from offerings.
Yeah, it will
How's
affect everything. That's why I will suggest do not disturb my enterprise offering setup.
okay? That is why how system understand that I am the user for one implementation. I did these changes from offerings. How system understand this? Actually, you told me that so do some changes from offerings, right?
I mean, you want to enable and disable offerings, or you want to configure the setups? Which one I'm not getting now?
No, actually, yesterday class you just mentioned that how to create the implementation project, right?
Yeah, I mean
From the
implementation project. Okay, even you configure the implementation project, that is the navigation to navigate the setups. But if you create your setups from there or from setup and maintenance, both are same only. So it won't affect others. But if you change setups others from there, from your implementation project also, it will affect entire application setups.
okay, so you may say that what are the user login from their setup maintenance, those all the setups impact to exact your implementation, right?
Yes, it will implement. It will. Yes, it will. I mean, impact, because it's
Okay,
application level setups, right? Not for user level setups. It is a single application.
I mean, what I'm logging the username from their setup and maintenance, what I did all these changes exactly impact to my implementation,
No,
my
implementation
project.
project you don't embed. It's for tracking purpose. You need to manually change it. The
Okay,
status, if you want to update, you have to do manually.
okay. Just reporting purpose,
Yeah, I mean, not reporting, for tracking purpose from client point.
tracking. Yes,
So you
yes.
need
I
to
got it.
manually change it. It won't impact automatically.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
What will impact is the setup data will impact if you change other setups. That's what.
Okay.
So that's just for tracking purpose. We need to manually change the status, like completed, in progress, like that.
Okay, Sharad, got it.
Yeah. Even without implementation project also, you can proceed further. Okay.
Okay, Sharad.
Any questions? Okay, I'm going to pause the recording. So any other questions?